Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge at 6:19 a.m. Central Daylight Time. Daylight is just creeping in, not too much though. Cold air is blowing in very strongly here at the last day of March 2019. So just when we thought cold weather was gone, it's back. Now, didn't get very cold this 2018-2019 winter here. The coldest day we had was 31 degrees once, and that was for about an hour, I think. That's not too bad. All right, this morning we have from 1965 100 Pipers blended Scotch whiskey. Overseas, like in India and Thailand and maybe Europe, it's sold as Seagram's 100 Pipers. Seagram's introduced it in 1965. But that company went out of business in the year 2000, so Pernard-Ricard took it over. In the U.S., it's just sold as 100 Pipers, no Seagram's designation, and it's handled by Heaven Hill. You can see that Heaven Hill bottle, that straight down bottle, that telltale Heaven Hill design. Bought this for $8.99. $8.99. Now, for $1 more, for $9.99, I bought Sir Malcolm. I bought both of these at Mathern's Market, formerly called Mathern's Supermarket. Now, you can see that this has that lip at the bottom. That's the telltale Sazerac Company design. So this is bottled they're both produced in Scotland, of course. No age statement on this one. Which means it's probably almost certainly a minimum of, it's a 3-year age. Sir Malcolm Royal Club blended Scotch whiskey, bottled at Buffalo Trace by Sazerac in Kentucky. Bottled in Kentucky. Sir Malcolm bottled at Bardstown, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, imported and bottled by Piper's Import Company, not a real company. It's an alias name for Heaven Hill, Bardstown, Kentucky. Okay. So they are produced in Scotland, the Kingdom of Scotland, and they're aged there, and yet they're bottled in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. You say, how about that? Yep. I think 100 Pipers is going to win. I wasn't too impressed with Sir Malcolm. It's not done well in the taste challenges. Been failing. It's not really my problem. It's its problem. I wouldn't recommend it, except maybe by chance you might just say, I want to try it. Like me, you might be like me, just buy it just to say you did it. Okay. But otherwise, I wouldn't go out and buy it. So there's 4 Pipers, not 100 on the label. And this label is different from the overseas label. There's a website. It's not updated. I mean, it gives you tasting notes for 100 Pipers, and then there's a special reserve, 12-year age. But like it'll say events. There's no current events on the website, something from like 2014. These companies are bad about that. I don't know why they get lazy. They can't update their information. Even they'll say, oh, well, people are like, nobody looks at websites. You got to look at their Facebook page. Okay, well, then that won't be updated, or it won't even exist. It'll be, this link is no longer, like they've done away with it. Seems to me a company would have more success if they promoted their products. You say, oh, it's very difficult to run websites. I don't think it's difficult at all. If you're a big company like Pernard-Ricard or Sazerac, I don't see why that would be difficult. But apparently it is, because even Miller can't get it straight with their Miller Genuine Draft. That's been going on for 5 years. Okay. So try to even it out. You may not be able to see this. I can see it because the light is shining through the glasses at me. The one in my right hand is light. This one is lighter in color. It's a little more pale gold. This one is deeper gold. Might have color added to it. I don't know. Does 100 Pipers have an age statement? I think it does. And I think even on their website, they say it's only aged 3 years as opposed to the 12-year. And then there's like an essay on the back of this one too. Not as long as the JW dance though. Yeah, this fine whiskey is 3 years old. Okay. That means the youngest whiskey in the blend is 3. Could be some much older. These are both probably about 80% column still, grain whiskey, grain alcohol, and then about 20% single malt. What single malts do they use? I really couldn't tell you that. I don't know. There's no, like I said, the information is so minimal. But my prediction is that Sir Malcolm will win. Starting Tuesday, or that's the plan at least, we're gonna get into Canadian Gibson's finest versus everything else that I own. Hopefully I won't overlook something. That's what happened with this today. I overlooked the 100 Pipers. I said, oh, drat. So I had to double up yesterday and then put off my rum taste challenge till Wednesday instead of Monday. So Wednesday I'm looking at, I haven't scheduled it. I don't even know when I'm going to, but that's the Wednesday slot. You hear what I'm saying? And that slot time, I could do it a day before, whatever, but I'm planning to do the Bacardi Grand Reserve Diaz versus the Bacardi Reserva Ocho. Couldn't say who's going to win. I don't have a lot of experience with those, so I'll be learning the tastes. I only had each of them sampled once. But it should be very interesting. And then I'll do Bacardi Grand Reserva Diaz versus the Bacardi Gold. Shouldn't really be much of a competition. And then down the line, that'll be blowouts. You know, the Castillo Gold wasn't very good at all. That was the worst I've had so far. Then the Skull, which was much better than I had expected, and it's very shocking and surprising. The Aristocrat was sort of middle range, like marginally good, as opposed to the Castillo Gold, which was not good. Maxwell says, hello, Ron. Hello to you, Maxwell. Over there in Russia. I know it's later in the day for you. Okay, so let's go with the aroma here. Try not to look down in the glass and give it away. I was sleeping sound early last night, and I got woken up by a text message from Lee Poznansky with New York's beer reviews, asking me about have I ever tried Michelob Golden Draft. I said, hey, Lee, don't call me and wake me up at night about beer. I had this problem with some other beer people. I was like, just put it on Facebook, and then when I get a chance, I'll look at it. I don't want alerts. If my house is on fire, yeah, I want an alert. If the levee broke, then I want the emergency services to call and say evacuate. But I go to sleep early. To give me an alert on my phone about a beer, I don't want to get that. I don't want to get it in the middle of the day, especially at night. So just do it on Facebook, and then when I get a chance, I'll look at it. This is not in, you know, I know people went on he goes on trips with his job and he sees new beers, but that's when you start saying, why did I get into this hobby? You know what I mean? I could have done this alone in peace. I don't need this. You know, I'm not that interested in it. It's an interest. It's not a religion. Some people treat drinking these beverages and reviewing them and taste challenging them like it's a religion. It's not a religion. For me, it's just something to do. It's an interest. All right. But he said, okay, I'm sorry. And he I'll have to get with him on Facebook. That's just the way that needs to be handled. Or email, you know. I don't get alerts on my phone with that kind of stuff. Email or Facebook. James P. Madonna was like in an uproar. I'm quitting Beer Talk. I said, why? I keep getting my phones going off all day. Boom, bing, bing, bing. So you can fix those settings where it won't alert your phone. You just have to do that. Same thing with the International Beer Review Guild on Google Hangouts. It's not going to alert your phone if you set it where it doesn't go off. You think I wanted to get Facebook alerts on my phone? No, I do not. I had it set like that at first, and I was getting all these. It's like, what is this? I don't care about this. Somebody had a birthday party. I wouldn't even care about it if I was, I mean, I care about it as far as it's nice, very nice, you see, but. All right. This one here on my nose is very bland. It smells like basic nothing. Now, you want to go pay $9.99 to get basic nothing, go ahead. It's fine. You're going to make a mixed drink with it anyway. Well, I mean, you might. I wouldn't. I don't make mixed drinks. I have no interest in mixed drinks. I have no desire to drink a mixed drink. I'm not an anti-mixed drinkite. I don't begrudge other people from drinking them. I see people drink them constantly. Do I mind? No, I do not. Does it bother me? No, it doesn't. Do I discourage it? No. Does it appeal to me? No, it does not. So this kind of thing here, this kind of whiskey is a nothing to me because it has no standalone quality, really. It might if you never compare it or contrast it with any other whiskey. I said this, I've preached this homily already. If you buy Sir Malcolm and you just by chance like it and you're fine with paying $9.99 a bottle and you never compare and contrast it, it'll be fine. But once you put it in the competition, it just does terrible. This is my experience. This has a lot more aroma over here. So this has got to be the 100 Pipers. Actually, at one time, 50 years ago, 100 Pipers was in play as far as a real competitive Scotch brand. You had magazine advertisements, no television because they didn't even allow whiskey or any kind of liquor advertisements on television until what, about 10 years ago, 2009, something like that. That's when it started taking off and getting popular. There's evidence right there that advertising matters because beer has been in decline relative to wine and liquor, especially liquor, distilled spirits, over the last 10 years. Why? Because now you have the television advertisements, the Kraken, or Jim Beam and Jack Daniels. You see, so that matters. So when you say it doesn't matter if they promote a beer brand or a wine brand, you better believe it does matter. You ever had Blue Nun wine? No, neither me. Do you know 40 years ago, Blue Nun was one of the top selling wines in the world or in the United States? They had constant television advertisements for Blue Nun. I don't know what happened with the company, but they stopped doing it and it died away. I saw a bottle of that on a shelf at Budget Saver in Marrero, Louisiana, US Highway 90 business route, westbound. I said, Blue Nun. Wow, I read about this. That old rock singer, Grace Slick, with the Jefferson Airplane and Jefferson Starship, she was saying in an interview, I used to polish off Blue Nun every night. I would drink a bottle every night back in her old drinking days, which ended not that long ago. But that was like a big, if you go to a party or a picnic, people would drink it. So, but with no advertisement, it just fades away out of people's consciousness, if you want to call it that. Look at Schlitz. There's another example. All right, so this is the aroma of nothing, practically nothing, versus some peat, no smoke, no. Some peaty grain, single malt Scotch with, you know, so it has a pleasant enough aroma and it's $1 cheaper. So it wins already because it's $1 cheaper. I mean, if it's a tie, then it's a loss because it's $1. You want a dollar saved is $1 earned, or as Ben Franklin, Poor Richard said, a penny saved is a penny earned. Okay. There was somewhat of a little waxy note, but honestly, with this, you get a harsh cereal grain presentation. Oh man, that is so Sir Malcolm. I mean, hey, if you want some harsh, no one would ever accuse this whiskey of being smooth. I mean, it's just like, I don't know what else to say. It's a harsh, biting, scratching, rough cereal grain alcohol, and it's got to be mostly corn with maybe a little rye and a little barley. Oh well, I wouldn't call it pleasant. And I have to laugh at myself when I do this because I think back to my solo review and I was really bragging on it. Like I said, they're okay unless you put them into a competition and it'll fall apart. Okay, over here. Oh yeah, I shouldn't have gulped it so fast. This one has noticeable smokiness. Peatiness. Some of these viewers are very knowledgeable, although they don't usually cite a source. I would say they allegedly are knowledgeable. They'll tell me, well, I used to be a bartender or whatever. Well, that's good. And I believe what they're telling me. Do you hear what I'm saying? I do believe they're correct. But it's not verifiable just to say, well, I knew some guys, you know, whatever. It's got to be, here's the source, you know. So if you don't have source material, you don't have it. It's not sourced. It's not, you can't cite a reference, you know. But they'll tell me, oh, yeah, Sir Malcolm's made with these, and they'll list the single malts. And it's at this plant, this distillery in this part of Scotland. Oh, very interesting. But they got no way to verify what they're saying. It's conjecture is the way I'm looking at it. It's interesting to read it, but I wouldn't run with it myself, you know. Now, if I'm on a company's website and they're telling me this is where Crown Royal is distilled right here at this place, yeah, I'm going to use that as a primary source. I would assume the company is telling the truth. Now, is 100 Pipers totally clean and neat and wonderful? No. It has some smokiness and it has the peatiness and it has that quintessential Scotch thing. But there's some roughness to it underneath. The top side is smooth, pleasant, doughy, all these things. But the bottom side is a little rough, a little grainy, a little stark, bitey. So I don't know why anybody would buy either one of these, honestly. But there's people that come in Mathurns every week, buy their bottle of 100 Pipers. I've seen it happen. Sir Malcolm too. Why, I don't know. So I've talked to people at customer service at stores, and they say, yeah, that stuff moves, you know, it sells. Okay. If you've only had single malt Scotch and you try these, it could be quite an experience. These could be good counterpoint because they can really, oh, it's just a, you say, well, why would I want to do that? Well, it's just a good to get a handle on some of the lower end things. Compare, like with beer, you know, if I had never had the Camo or the Earthquake High Gravity 12% or the Super Brew 15 or the Bam and the Boom from the Czech Republic, Prague, and all those other wretched items, you know, maybe I would believe that Budweiser is so bad, you know, oh, it's so bad, it's the worst. People say it's the worst, it's the worst. No. And then I'll quiz the people saying that. I say, what's the worst beer you ever had? And they'll say, oh, Bud Light. I say, you ain't never had a bad beer. You've never had Milwaukee Special Reserve. You've never had Milwaukee's Classic Ice. You've never had Boxer Lager. You never had Beer 30 Ice, Beer 30 Light. You never had all the ones I just named. Oh, now, or Jaguar malt liquor. If you've had those, shoot, you'd think Bud Light was a fabulous product. And maybe you say, oh, Cuddy Sark, that's a boring, bland, kind of rotten scotch, and I don't like it. No, it's terrible. It has the worst of it. Well, compared to this, Cuddy Sark could be mighty wonderful. And you say, well, Cuddy Sark's not that good. I know, that's what I'm saying. Here you get this strange honey and syrup, and it's grain that you would get in oh, it's just typical, like you could get it in the American blended whiskeys. You say, you mean corn syrup, corn sweetness, candy corn. Yeah. I would say that this is much more alike a cheap American blended whiskey like a Fleischmann's or a McCormick or a Heaven Hill than it is different. I think a lot of people that would try this wouldn't even think it was scotch. They'd say, well, it just tastes like some junk. Okay. I'm going to call it. Yeah. They would never think this isn't scotch, though. But if you drank this, you would say, yeah, that's some kind of scotch. Now, if you let it settle in your mind and your breath and your tasting, then you would say, whoa, back up. There's a lot of roughness here on the underside. Yes. So that's where it breaks down. Now, so I'm going to say 100 pipers, please be one. And this has got to be Sir Malcolm. So when I look under this bottle, this glass, it should say SM. Yes, SM. I was looking upside down with WS. Yeah, SM. Oh, well, thankfully, we're done with Sir Malcolm for a good while, except when it goes up against the Inverhouse Green Plaid. Don't know what Inverhouse is going to do. I know the Whiskey Scout said it did much better than the other blended scotches. So it was only $11.99 for the liter bottles, so that's a good sign. Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, these are 750s. Well, so I think later today, it could be this afternoon. I don't know when it's going to be. It's not going to be soon. It's not going to be this morning for sure, but I plan on doing a review of KBS 2019. Do I think it's going to be much different from 2014, 2015, 2016? No. I had those and I really liked them. All right. But I didn't find that one vintage or bottling was different than the year before, really. So I didn't see where I had this great need to go out and spend $5 a bottle every year of for KBS. It's still an outstanding product. It's up in the A+ range. There's no argument. But to go, it's like Bourbon County, to go spend $10 a year every year on a 16.9 ounce bottle of it, and for it to taste the same, unless it's infected, like it was in 2016, you know, like ruined, but that's a rarity. So, I mean, I have no compelling reason to go buy it for 2019. I don't think I'll buy Bourbon County Stout. Now, if I see one of the other variants, the barley wine or the this and that thing, I'll buy it if the price is reasonable, and I'll try it, and then I'll probably like it. So that's it. So Sir Malcolm, disastrous performance. It's been a 10-game season, and it's gone 0 wins and 10 losses. Really, that's how it panned out. It's not the worst whiskey I ever tried, but it's one of the worst. And it's funny how that works. I'm ending this video now, but it's funny because when I did the Bellows Club whiskey on its own, it was nice, and I liked it, and I said good things about it, and I gave it a good score. But golly, when I put it in competition, it was bad news. That stuff was so harshly rye. You say, well, rye whiskey's good. Rye whiskey's, yeah, but not this kind of stuff. It screams, I don't know what it is. It's something wrong with it. It's something wrong with it. It shouldn't be like that. That should not taste like that. And I got a whole liter of it. Oh my goodness. All right. Daylight's here. I'm going walking. All right. Thanks for watching this taste challenge. Although I was able to guess on aroma only. So, Sir Malcolm, you're going back in the cabinet, and you will not be missed for a few months at all. Not be missed. Thanks for watching this video production.